welcome to this channel. I'm Kenny Tadish by name, and in today's video I'm going to show you on how to write an effective cold email that actually guarantees a response. If you are a freelancer or a person that deals with blasting a lot of cold emails and you are struggling with receiving good response or receiving no response at all, no worry, we tackle the challenges that you are facing. So we are going to use some formula into this video, which is the OPSA formula. But before diving into the formula, there are some things I will let us to know before sending your message. Now, the first things I notice is that about your subject line, most people, they used to write a lot of cold email, but their subject line is not well catchy enough to catch the recipient's attention. Now, the person that receives your message is receiving a lot of message daily. Now, you need to create a sense of curiosity for that person to open your message. Immediately, the person you send message to realize that your message deal with sales email or any type of unwanted email, the next thing you will do is to report your email or to ignore your email. Now, you need to create a sense of urgency. You can use two options. The first option is by creating a curiosity by using subject line, something like you have one notification or you have one message. Now, this they will think of like, oh, I have one message, let me quickly check out the message that I have. Maybe it's something that I need to reply to. The second option is by personalizing your email. You can say, if you get your email list or email lead from a verified source from like LinkedIn, and you really know the person that you are reaching out to, you can just say for a friend of John Fred, something like that. Now, the person will think like you really know him, or you can just check the friend list of the person that you are reaching out to and just mention one of his or her friend in the subject line. Now they know that the person that is reaching out them actually know them. The second thing I will let us to know is about the length of your message. The shorter your message is, the more they read your message. Now, if you want to write a message that is well detailed, make sure that you include a lot of paragraph, and in the first paragraph, make sure that you include something that will make them to be interested in reading more. Now, the next thing I will let us to know is about offer. Now, when you write your message, when you write your cold email, make sure that you include something, perhaps free trial or free, in your message, just as you know that a lot of people actually like free things. Now, once you include something that other people are charging a lot of fee for, calculate everything, calculate the expenses. Now, you offer their thing for free. Now, calculate the total number of lead acquired and the conversion rate. Let's discuss the type of formula that you can use to write a cold email. For example, if you're a digital marketer, now you can use the OPSA formula. The O stands for the observation. Now, if you want to start your message, make sure that you don't start with something like, I noticed that you are no. That is not working anymore. Immediately they know that your message is related to other people, is immediate, they will just ignore your message immediately. But you can start with something like, it seems like, it looks like, it sounds like. You know, in your preview message, in your preview email, they will see this, so they wouldn't even know that you want to reach out to them for any sales or anything. Now, when you start with like, it seems like, it really makes sense, so that you are just introducing yourself, my name is and I offer this. No, you can just start with something like, it looks like, it sounds like. Now, let me show you one of the example of the message that I sent to my prospect. It seems like you are losing potential customer daily, not because your products aren't good, but because you are missing one key system that 88% of merchants use to drive sales and upsell. Now, if you check the first paragraph, you know that this message, this paragraph talk about the observation. What did I really observe about this person? This person, e-commerce store owner, they are e-commerce merchants. Now, I noticed that a lot of people don't make sales, and I know that a lot of like 88% of merchants don't not really make sales. Now I let the buyer to know that I actually noticed something in her store that doesn't make him or her to make sales. Now I've let the buyer know what I really observed. Now let's move on to the next formula, which is the P, and the P is problem. Now we have already discussed the observation, what we observe in the merchant store. Now we need to discuss what the problem is, what is the really problem, and what can it cause the buyer if the recipient did not take the action immediately. Now let's move on. I said without the right funnel, you will keep spending on the ad and subscriptions while competitors win over your visitors. That's the problem. One of my clients went 11 months without a single sale until I built his funnel. Now his store runs like a sales magnet. Now in the first paragraph, we noticed that I told about what I noticed. In the second paragraph, at the top of the second paragraph, now I discussed about the problem. In the second paragraph, I talked that without the right funnel, you keep spending on the ads and subscriptions while competitors win over your customer. Now this is the problem. Like, the merchant will continue to spend wastely on the ad without converting. Now the next formula, which is the S, is the solution. Now we need to discuss, we have discussed what you observe, we have discussed the problem. Now we need to discuss what can really solve this merchant problem. That's where the solution comes in. Now in the solution, I said instead of copying others, we design funnel tailored to your niche, turning visitors into buyers and helping you scale without wasted spend. Now the buyers or the merchants or the recipients now know that the problem for his or her store is the sales funnel. Now once you have now discussed the solution, you can now discuss about the action, which moves us to the next formula, which is the A. That is action. Now for the action, you cannot just say that are you interested. No, just say something that will push them to first respond. What you first need is for them to respond. Once they respond, you can now try to communicate some things to them. Now let's check my action. In my call to action, I said something like, would you like me to show you the right funnel your store needs? Now if you want to discuss about the action, don't say something complicated in your message at all. You can just say something like, does it sound interesting? Can you relate? What's a chart? Would you like to know more information? Have you considered something like this before? Say something that will make them to say yes, 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 yes. What you want for them is for them to reply saying yes. You want them to be interested. You asking them that are they interested or not. Now they can decide to say yes and they can decide to say no. But what you really want, you always want their yes. Now what you need to discuss is what can really make them say yes, so that they will not just ignore your message. For a complicated word, make your word simple, make your message simple. What you are trying to communicate, make sure that it's very, very simple to understand. Let's check the response of the buyer. He said, hello John, yes, I would like to show you the right funnel my store needs. And from there I started to communicate with the buyer, and this is actually how you can communicate and write your effective cold email. And I believe that watching this video, you should have learned one thing or the other, and I wish to meet you at the top. Thank you.